Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another episode of my FM21 Stay with Ajax. It's going to be a little bit different than normal. The thing is, I recorded the entire episode and then I found out that my audio got corrupted. So I'm going to do this one post-com because it is a pretty important episode and we did get some okay results. So I do want to show you guys those games in the way that they happened. So I'm gonna try my best. I haven't ever done a post-com, so it's gonna be a new challenge. But I'm gonna do my best, and we'll see how it turns out. So I want to start by saying that it might be a little bit more quiet on my channel these weeks. Both school and work are killing me right now. I've got a lot of assignments to finish for school, and I have had a lot of night shifts at work, so I couldn't really find the time to play through the rest of the season and record the episodes too. So that is the reason why it's probably a little bit less videos on my channel this week and maybe next week. I'm gonna try to get back to the regular schedule as soon as possible, but I can't promise anything. So let's look forward just a little bit. I don't know on the top of my head how I recorded this episode exactly. I do know that we're facing PSG in the quarterfinals, and as you can see, we faced them before, and that was the season where they had only lost to Liverpool, and then we beat them at home 3-2. Sadly, that time it wasn't enough for us to go through to the next round. We're gonna try our best this season to progress to the next round to knock PSG out. Hopefully, we'll get a better away result. If we would have gotten a better away result in that season, we would have actually already gone through. But it wasn't to be then. Hopefully, it is now. So here you have the league table. We are in second place. We are a couple of points behind AZ, but nothing that we can't overturn anymore. Of course, I've got full faith. Let's check out the schedule. So last time we lost to AZ 3-0 and then we beat Zenit. We beat Willem II 2-0. We beat NEC 3-0 and 4-0 once in the cup, once in the league. Heerenveen 1-0, 3-1 against ADO, 4-1 against Fortuna, 2-0 against Heracles, and then another 2-0 against FC Emmen, which brings us here for the games against PSV and the Dutch Cup quarterfinals. Against NAC Breda. So the only goal that we conceded in that run of games is that one against ADO Den Haag. So hopefully we can keep that record going and not concede here against PSV. Of course, when I'm recording this, the audio at least, I already know the result, but I'm going to try to not spoil it for you. I'm going to still try to do it the same as I would always do. So please forgive me if it sounds a little bit odd. As I said, I'm going to try my best. I haven't ever done a post-com. But let's just get straight into the game. Here's the starting lineup. Onana in goal. Rensch, Lecomte, Markovic, Guardiol, Thiago Bermudez, Anthony, Gonzalez, Serrano, and Boschi as striker. So these are the 11 names that are going to try to beat PSV, try to keep a clean sheet, and try to reach the first place and overtake AZ. AZ, I believe, are playing Heerenveen right now, who are in third. So hopefully Heerenveen can do their job and help us all in once. I mean, that would mean that they would get closer to AZ and we could overtake AZ with the gap only being 3 points. If we win and AZ lose, then of course we're back on equal points where, well, it's not where we should be. We should be ahead of them by quite a mile, but we're not, because we seem to be screwing up a lot of matches. So let's get straight into it. There's the kickoff. First off, I want to start by saying that we've had the youth intake preview. I haven't really paid too much attention to it. The only line that I remember is the fact that we shouldn't expect too much from this youth intake. And there we go. It's already 1-0. Only 2.5 minutes played, and Nico Serrano opens the score for us against PSV. Exactly what we needed. Now let's keep that clean sheet and let's get the 3 points here. So, as I was saying, we shouldn't expect too much from this year's youth intake. That's pretty much the same thing that we've had for the last couple of seasons. And over the last couple of seasons, it has been disappointing every single time. So, in the meantime, it looks like we're going to get a penalty kick here. And we're not even 10 minutes into the game. As a matter of fact, we're only 7 minutes in, but Anthony is gonna try to get our second goal here, and he does. Anthony makes it 2-0 against PSV, and that's a flying start for us. Let's see if we can see if what AZ are doing. They are drawing right now, so as it stands, they are still ahead of us. But there is the 1-0, and it's Václav Černý that scores the goal for Heerenveen. Of course, ex-Ajax, he gives Heerenveen the lead, and he gives us the top spot for now. And that was another close chance for us. Sadly, we hit the side netting. So, yeah, talking about the Champions League, of course, that season against PSG, we had a good chance. We had a good second leg. Sadly, we didn't go through. Last year, of course, we had that travesty against Man United, which, well, of course, was completely my mistake. If you haven't seen it, I completely do recommend you go back and watch it, because even though I personally lost us that game, I think it's a good watch. It's a good game. It's an exciting game. You know the end result, but I mean, just go and watch it if you haven't. If you have, you probably will remember what happened in that match. Of course, it went to penalties, and then by accident, Onana took the first penalty, and he missed. And there is Donyell Malen to get a goal back for PSV. So it's only 2-1, so it's only one goal between us. In the meantime, Heerenveen have got a 2-goal lead against AZ. Hopefully they will keep their lead. Hopefully we can get another goal. Second half is already almost halfway. I say that. There's still almost 30 minutes left. But it looks like we are on the attack again here. Going to make a couple of substitutions. And hopefully get a third goal here. And Rossano Bushi does exactly that. And he makes it 3-1. So we get that 2-goal cushion back. And it's a comfortable lead now. And I think we're not going to give this away anymore. Of course, there are still 23 minutes left. But I don't think that PSV are going to score at least 2 goals. And there is Sinisa Radulovic, of all people. The young left back scores the 4-1. His first goal of the season. I think probably his first ever senior goal. I don't think he's scored before. And what a goal to get your first. And what a game to get your first goal in. I mean, to get your first goal in Ajax PSV. And what a goal it was from outside of the box. Beautifully in the far corner. And AZ have got a goal back against Heerenveen. So, and they've got a second now. But Heerenveen instantly get a third. And they get their lead back. And we get our top spot. There's the final whistle. So it indeed means that we get first place. And AZ dropped down to second. And I believe Heerenveen are now in third. Yes, they are. They're ahead of PSV and ADO. So I am very happy to have gotten that win right there. Hopefully, we'll keep the lead. Either way, I'm going to see you guys for the game against NAC Breda in the quarterfinals of the KNVB Beker, or the Dutch Cup as the game calls it. And I'm going to see you guys in just a second. So here we are for the second game of the episode. Hopefully it'll be a good one. Hopefully we can get an easy win. We should get the easy win against a team like NAC Breda. We are going to rotate the squad just a little bit because there are a lot of players now that are unhappy with their game time. And we're going to have to try to get those morals up. Especially players like Dolberg. But also Gonzalez is a little bit angry at us. And Matteo Ruggieri is one of those other players that was angry with us. Well, he still is. He is injured now, but he is going to move on to Sevilla at the end of the year. I didn't even get notified of Sevilla offering a contract to him. I just got the email saying that he accepted a contract offer. And it took me a little bit by surprise. I would have liked to have kept him at the club. But it wasn't to be. So Ruggieri is going to leave at the end of the season. Luckily, we have a player like Radulovic to get his place for next season. And of course, we still have Guardiol, who is a decent left back too. So the team for today: Onana, Rensch, then komt Markovic, Thiago, Gravenberg, Kudus, Anthony. And I'm going to just have to wait a second because it wasn't fast enough. After Anthony at right wing, let's see if we progress to the team talk. And then we can see, there we go. So, Kudus, Anthony, Dolberg, and Traoré, of course, and Gonzalez at center attacking mid. So those are the 11 names. Dolberg getting back into the squad because he is asking to leave, and Gonzalez is only angry with us because he supports Dolberg basically. So hopefully when we get Dolberg's happiness back up, a couple of other players will get their morale back up too, and hopefully that will mean better results for us. Because even though we have won every single game in that run of off-camera games, it wasn't, there weren't any really convincing performances, and that's what I'm really missing with this team. I mean, we have the quality of players, we definitely do, we should be winning every single game of the league, but there's just something missing about this team that results in us just not picking up enough points. Well, we have picked up the league title a couple of times already, of course, but we should be doing more than that, and luckily Lassina Traoré opens the score for us here after 21 minutes already into the game, 1-0 against NOC. Hopefully that means that we can go through to the semi-finals and eventually win the cup again this year. We've won it last year, we haven't won it the year before that, so hopefully we can now win it back to back. That would be very good. But as I was saying, we're just not getting the results that I'm looking for with this team. So I'm going to say I think, but I'm pretty sure that there's something wrong with our tactics, which results in us dropping points, in us becoming complacent, not having a high enough concentration, all kinds of stuff like that make sure that we sometimes don't reach the goal that we're expected to reach. Like for instance, our Champions League runs over the last couple of years should be much better than they actually were. To get knocked out in the first knockout round a couple of times, year after year after year, that's just disappointing, and we should be doing way better than that. Hopefully this year, even though we've got a tough draw, hopefully we can move on past the first knockout round, and Sidney van Hooijdonk just before the end of the first half makes it 1-1. And that's exactly the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Just before the end of the half, it looks like the concentration levels are dropping. Players are getting a little bit complacent, thinking, well, this half is done. We can just go through to the next one and do it all again. And you just don't get away with that stuff. I mean, sometimes you do, but you can't get away with it forever. And this time it came back to haunt us. And we have actually conceded. And now we need to score a goal again to move on to the semi-finals. I mean, I'm not expecting us to lose against NOC Breda. Don't get me wrong, they're not some bad team, but I mean, the quality of our players is just way better. And it is disappointing to only be, to not even be winning against them. Having said that, we are still on the attack. Let's see what we can do here. And there is luckily Anthony again to save us, to get us back into the lead. But only a 2-1 is still not enough. I mean, obviously, it is a win in the end if it ends like this and then we go through to the next round, but only 2-1 against a team like NOC Breda, it's just not good enough, and there's just something about that that's annoying me kind of, because with this team, I'm excited for the save, I'm excited for the players, and Lassina Traoré makes it 3 to prove my point that we're much better, but I'm excited for the players and for the save and for the series, but there's just something missing, and I think that's really that convincing performances to just beat teams by 7 or 8 goals every week. I mean, it wouldn't be fun to do that every single game, but it would be good to have that a little bit more often. A couple years ago we did. We actually had a run of 5 games where we scored 7 in 3 of those, I think. But other than that, it just hasn't been electrifying enough. So that's really something that I want to work on. Maybe our attacking players are just not gelling well enough. Maybe they don't know each other well enough. Maybe I need to take a look at the rules or some of the instructions maybe. That's definitely something I can do. I think, because I do think we're going to get the championship this year. I think we're going to win the league title, hopefully. I think after the league is over, because I don't want to take too many risks, I'm going to schedule as many friendlies as possible. And I think I'm gonna manage them as well, and then just see what we can do. Look at the extended highlights. Let's see where the mistakes are, see where the gaps are, what we should be doing better, and stuff like that. So hopefully hopefully it will be a good season next season. And luckily Knock Breda don't get a penalty there. Could have been a 3-2. Could have been a tight end of the game, but luckily there's the final whistle. We go through to the semi-finals, and we're facing either PSV because they knocked out AZ, or Groningen, they knocked out Heerenveen, or Twente, who as you can see knocked out FC Dordrecht. So who we're going to face, you're going to see that next episode. But first, let's take a look at the schedule, because we are close to the game against PSG, and let's see where the cup game is going to be. Alright, so the cup game is going to be right before we play Groningen, so we're probably going to play Groningen in the cup as well, because most of the times when you play some team in the league and you have a cup draw just before or just after, the chances are likely that you're going to face them again. But either way, next episode I am going to meet you guys for the second leg against PSG and the game before or after that, depends on how many games are in between. So let's take a look at who that is gonna be. So PSG are right there, so it's either Utrecht or NEC. I think it's gonna be Utrecht and PSG, but I'm gonna see about that when we get there. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe as well if you haven't already. And on the screen right now you can see PSG have only lost one game in the league. In total, they've lost 3. They've lost to Lyon, AC Milan, and Hertha BSC. And they've drawn against Milan in the Champions League. And they've drawn against Lorient in the league. So hopefully we can give them another loss, or at least a draw. But we're going to see about that in the next episode when we get there. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.